Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your time. So in today's video, we're gonna create this pinky eye look, and I was inspired by a shadow in this palette, which is the shade Flamingo. This beautiful bright pink, and I just wanted to create a pink eye look because if you don't know me, hi, my name is Sandra and I do love pink. So I just wanted to create something pink, and we're gonna use this palette and then also two palettes that are in my A palette project pen. Couldn't think of that word this year that I'm doing, so I just uploaded my first update, which I will link in the cards and down below. So I will use some shades each from these palettes as well. One, because they go well with the pink theme, and two, I just wanted to use them because, you know, they're in a project and they're beautiful shadows to start with. But anyway, if you would like to see how I create this look, then just keep on watching and have fun. First I used just a flat brush from MAC, I'm not too sure the number, but any flat brush will do. And I dip it in the shade Pounce from my project pen, so that shade, that video will be up before this, so it's okay to show you. And I'm just dip my brush in there. Oh, hold on, I did not prime, hold on. Let me do that first. I'm gonna just use my NYX HD Studio eyeshadow base, and then we can move on. What am I doing? Where is my mind? Okay, my eyes are primed, so now I can pack that shadow in the outer corner, and I go a bit above my crease, so when I close my eyes, or I mean open them, not close them, Jesus. When I open them, you can still see a little bit of that shadow. And I'm going to pack on just a little bit more. Once we get to this lovely stage, I'm going to use my Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons palette, and I'm going to dip in the shade Flamingo, which is this beautiful bright pink. And that's what inspired me to do a pink look. To start with, I'm gonna take that on a Morphe M506, I don't know if I mentioned that, and I'm gonna just start buffing out the edges, and I'm not gonna bring it in all the way to my inner corner at this point, but to about halfway across my lid. Okay, I know it still looks a bit crazy, but when we are at this point, we're going back into the Sunset Horizons palette. And I'm going to use the shade Dusk, which is this pastel pink. And I'm going to use my Blank Canvas Cosmetics brush in E42. And we're going to then blend it in the inner corner and then buff the edges of that out as well. So this is the color that's going to help me blow it out a little bit, as you can see on that eye as well. And I find that this is a perfect pastel-y pink to blend this shadow out with. And because it's a pastel, I feel like I do have to dip back in a few times, but that's okay. And don't be afraid to blend away the intensity of that pink. We can always build it back up again if I feel like it's not as bright as on the other side. To make sure it's the same shape, because my eyes definitely aren't, so, you know, trial and error. And then I go back to my Morphe brush again and the shade Flamingo, and I just basically blend them until I feel like they are nicely worked together. And I might even go back in with the darker shade on the flat brush and might just pack on whatever is left on the brush, especially in the outer corner. So then I can go back in with my Morphe brush and blend the two together. It's just a lot of blending, basically. Now that I'm quite happy with that, we're gonna go in with the Nikki Tutorials and Beauty Bay palette. So again, it's another project pen shadow because one, they're pretty, and two, they're in a project for a reason. So I'm gonna go in with that shade, which is Pride, and I'm just gonna use my finger because I find that while they work nice with a brush, they work a lot better with a finger. And look at that payoff, it's beautiful. And I just pat it on. Oh, look at that, beautiful. There's a bit more. And then I just took my blank canvas brush. I don't know why I have such trouble saying that. But I just blended it out on the top. And I feel like the other side is a bit brighter. So this is when I can go back in with my Beauty Bay palette and the shade Flamingo. Sorry. And just open it and bring it in a bit more. And then I can go in with the blank canvas brush and blend, blend, blend. Sometimes it's easier to correct things once most of the shadows are on. So I feel like the primer hung on to the dark shade a bit more on this side, and I have a bit more trouble blending it, so I'm going to use the Morphe brush that I use with Flamingo, and I'm going to dip it both in Flamingo and in the Berry M shade in an attempt to blend them together. Because sometimes you have to mix shades on your brush to make it work. And I feel like it's not as bad in real life as when I look in the viewfinder. It seems a bit more obvious. It does happen sometimes. A bit more dust. I feel like it still clung to the primer in some places, but it's a lot better than it was. And then what I also did with the Morphe brush, I dipped it in Flamingo again, which again is the bright pink from the Beauty Bay palette, and just patted it on where the dark burgundy meets that purpley pink from the Nikkie Tutorials palette. And I just feel like it helps to diffuse the two shades together, but then I went back in with my finger with the tiniest bit of shadow and just patted it on the top like so, and then I can always go back in with the brush. And again, there's quite a bit of blending in this look, but sometimes you just need some blending. And for the lower lash line, I went in with a little angled flat brush in the shade Pounce from the Berry M palette, and I applied it to the outer corner of my lower lash line. And while I'm at the same brush, I also applied Pounce on my whole lash line on the top. On the outer, obviously you can't see that much because it just blends into the actual shadow, but you can see it on the inner corner, and it's just a small difference. It just makes my lashes a bit fuller, and because of the color is the same as what we use in the outer corner, it just blends in quite seamlessly. And I have a little bit of shimmer fallout, not too bad, but a little annoying. I'm gonna just take a brush and try to blend away the shimmer fallout. Not happening. Not happening. Well, it's gonna be glowy for the rest of the day. That's fine. So, once I've done that, I took my eyeliner, which is the Berry M Kohl pencil, and it just has a number 23 on it, so it's just a pink kohl pencil. And first I applied that in my waterline. It's a really nice bright pink. And then I take the Zoeva Luxe Petite pencil brush and dip it in the shade Flamingo. Again, it's the bright pink from the Sunset Horizons palette. For a second I could not think of the name, even though it said it on the palette. And I'm going to just blend it out. I'm going to bring that shadow all the way in, and obviously blend it nicely in the outer corner. And then once we're done with that, because this way it's still a bit messy, I just sort of cleaned a small brush on my hand, nothing fancy. And then dip it in the shade Dusk, so it's the same Morphe brush as we used before. And I use that to diffuse the lower lash line furthermore. Like so. I feel like it's really bright, but I already darkened it so much I don't really want to darken it more. So hopefully you can see everything properly. And then the last thing I did is I reached for a highlighter. This is the Becca Prismatic Amethyst, which is this beautiful pinky purpley shift highlighter. And I took it on my Sigma E47 and then just swirl it around and apply a teensy bit in the inner corner. And then also some on my brow bone. It just ties the look together nicely. More on that side. And then I'm going to apply some mascara and some lip product to see if my cheek needs any more product, and then I will be back to show you the fully finished look. And that's it, that's the finished look. Now obviously if you want to make it a bit more sultry, a bit more boom, you can always apply false lashes. If you've been on my channel, you know that I'm not much of a false lashes kind of person. I might become one day, I don't know, but most of the time I don't know, I don't like doing that. I might add an actual lashing of mascara to this maybe, but generally I'm not into lashes that much. I have a few, I like the look of them, I just don't like wearing them, so you know. You can add some lashes if you want, but let me know what you think of this look. I quite like how it turned out. Is it something I've never done before? Probably not. Is it something that could not be done with another palette? Probably not. Also, let me know what you think of the idea. I've heard opinions that these two palettes are really similar, or at least some shades in there. So if I'm about to come up with a look where I can recreate with both palettes, should I do like a one eye side by side thing? Would anyone be interested in that? I don't know. Let me know. But for now I'm gonna go. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It would be very much appreciated. But for now I'm gonna go. I hope you have a lovely day, and bye bye.